So his supposed final words, so Shakespeare put et tu, Brute, was probably actually in Greek, if it existed at all, and you, my child, directed at Brutus. Some people think, okay, so my child, I mean, it is. I mean, he's essentially the stepfather, saying that to the son. I mean, there's even been some speculation that he could have been Julius Caesar's natural son, Brutus. I mean, very unlikely. I think Caesar would have had to have been 16, but obviously not beyond the realms of possibility. But it takes on a completely different dimension. And then especially afterwards, I mean, what does Sevilia do? Does she then carry on supporting her son, Brutus, and his cause for the liberation of Rome from this kind of system of rule? Or does she despair and mourn the man that she's loved and turn against her own flesh and blood? I mean, it has this other, I mean, this is a really important dimension to that story, which we just don't read about. The same, like all the way through Julius Caesar's life, he had this enmity with Cato. They hated each other. And yet Sevilia and Cato were brother and sister. So, you know, and so Cato took, as soon as they began their relationship, Cato was like, oh, obviously he's doing this to get at me. And the whole sort of tension between them, which is very much played out in the Senate, has another dimension as well, with Sevilia in the picture. So this is the sort of thing I was trying to do when I was retelling this story of the ancient world, is to draw out these other dimensions that women contribute to the history, so that you refocus the lens. You look at history, but from a different angle, from the traditional angle that we're used to being presented with.
Exactly. Well, let's spin back. We'll go back to the world of the Greeks. And I think it was Pericles who said something like, really, the best sort of woman is not spoken about at all. Whether, you know, to say she's good with the distaff or she's messing around with every guy in town kind of thing. The best kind of woman is just nothing, just not there in the record at all. So thanks, Pericles, for that, you know, for that observation. But did that kind of thing, does that make it difficult to write a history like this? I mean, specifically with the Greek world in mind, or did people get around it?
Well, I'd say, I mean, Pericles is living in Athens, and Athens, 5th century BC Athens, when he was alive,